I teach special education in a rural school in Missouri. This is just me documenting what I do in a week, and if you have any questions, comments, let me know. If you have some ideas that you want to share with me, that would be great. I love sharing ideas. So this week is going to be our second week of school, so things need to start getting into the routine, and things hopefully will go really smooth this week. I started seeing my kids on Thursday last week. I went into their classrooms on Tuesday and Wednesday because of the fact that they were going over procedures in the classroom, and it's important that they get all of those procedures because of the fact that they'll be in the classroom and need to know those things, because they were going over procedures that weren't necessarily the same time as whatever times they'll be doing math or whatever they were going over procedures. So it's just best to let them stay in their classroom for those first 2 days. But then after that, they came to my class. We went over procedures for my class. We're not quite done yet, but I'm kind of thinking I might just do it on the fly, because it seemed like they did so much better when we did actual work, because there were some kids that I have them multiple times during the day and they're with other students. And so I thought, let's go ahead and just have them do some work in the morning, and then when they come back with the other students in the afternoon, then they can start learning the procedures again with everybody else. And that seemed to work out a lot better, but it still was rough whenever they were just doing procedures, because again, they're already bored of doing it in their classrooms, and I understand that. So we just kind of did what we had to do, and yeah. So this week, hopefully things will go smoother. Right now, it is Monday. We don't have school on Monday. I'm in a 4-day-a-week school, so there are some Mondays that we'll go to school, but most of them we do not go to school. So once a month, of course, we have professional development for the teachers, so I'll go to school, but the kids don't. And then there are a couple of times where the kids do come on a Monday just to kind of get ahead of snow days, let's be honest. So here in Missouri, where we're at, we're down in southern part, so couple flakes and we get called off just because of where we're at, and being in a rural area, our buses can't get to some of the places due to the fact that a lot of times they don't get plowed, the roads don't get plowed or salted because they're rural, they're back roads. So it is what it is. So being a 4-day-week school, they're just trying to kind of be prepared for not having to hopefully have to do a lot of makeup days. So it's been a crazy week. If you watched my video from last week, again, just life. So I just got married over the summer, and I went from me and my daughter to me, my husband, his 3 kids, and my daughter. So a lot of different things. The boys are high schoolers. So one is in band, one is in football. So we are running a lot. So we also had to try to go down this weekend, and we got everything from my apartment since we just moved, and we just didn't have time to move everything at once. So I have my apartment rented anyway until the end of this month. So it was fine. And we got everything. I don't have a place for everything right now, so it's just where it is right now. So got to get that done at some point. So thanks for joining me this week, and you'll get more information about my crazy week. All right, so it is 8:30. I have gotten 3 kids off to school. One of them I have to drive to take her to her grandma's where the bus picks her up. We just don't want to get out of the routine. I don't go to work on Mondays sometimes, so but it's just easier to make sure that she goes where she needs to go. I might start driving them to school on Mondays. I don't know. We'll see. So today's a crazy day because my husband ended up having to, his hand was hurting, and he decided he needed to go to urgent care. Urgent care sent him to the hospital and to the ER, and the ER admitted him because he apparently has an infection in his hand, and we don't know how or why, but that's where we're at right now. So thankfully I'm off work today, so I'm able to go up and be with him. We giggled because of the fact that he actually did it down by where I used to live instead of up here where we live now, because he was running some errands and decided to go do it. So he's actually down back by where I used to live. So I'm going to go back down there today. But again, I had to get the kids off to school first. And then I had to run to Walmart just because, hey, kids still need food all week long. And the doctor said he wasn't even going to be at the hospital until 11 o'clock. And then after that, he had some scheduled surgeries to do. So I hate to leave my husband up there by himself, but I got to get stuff done. And he even said making sure to take care of the kids and everything at the house is what would help him relax more. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I went to Walmart. I got some food, got some stuff for the week. I decided, since we don't know if he is going to end up having to have to stay tonight in the hospital or not, I just grabbed stuff that the kids could microwave. So we don't know what this week's going to look like. So when an emergency comes up, best laid plans, well, we got to make some changes, which is fine. So that's what we're doing, and everything will be fine. We just had to kind of switch things up a little bit. So unless there was something major, I will be at school tomorrow. So if we have to, my parents can pick up my husband, his mom can pick him up if he doesn't get out of the hospital until tomorrow. So I'm not worried about that. We're just trying to think of everything logistically. The kids asked if they could go see him tonight, if he has to spend the night, and I said, well, we'll see, because again, we don't even know at this point what time his surgery is going to be. So if his surgery is early, maybe they'll go ahead and send him home tonight. We don't know. If his surgery is later in the afternoon, then they can probably come up because he's probably not going to be released. So we'll see. They also don't know how bad the infection is until they get in there. So the doctor even said there's a possibility that he'll have to go back in, which I hope is not the case. So, but if that's the case, then that's what we're going to have to do. So we're hoping this hospital stay will be as short as possible, and then we will be able to move on to the new routine until it's done. So he's already called work. They know he's not going to be in at least for today and tomorrow. And his boss just went ahead and said, why don't you plan to be gone all week? Because he is a supervisor. So he said, just tell your crew what they need to get done for the week and just let that go. So that's what he did, is he sent the information to his crew about what needs to be done for the week, and hopefully things will go smooth. Again, hey, you're gone. It is what it is. So if his crew can go to the next level if they need to. So we will, again, I'm going to drop off our groceries, and then I'm going to head up there to be with him for the day. And then depending on when the surgery is, one of our kids has football practice until 6 o'clock, but their grandma said that she would come and be with the other two when they got home from school, and then she would go and pick up the other one for football. And again, since the boys asked about coming up, as long as he's staying the night, then we'll just have her bring them up to Springfield. To Branson. And that way they can see their dad, because of course they're pretty worried about him, because again, my husband is not. When he went voluntarily to the hospital, the boys actually were shocked, and that's what has worried them. So everything will be okay, but you know how it is. They want to actually be able to see him, and I get it because I'm headed up there now. So the week is going to be crazy. Football practice every night until 6 o'clock. Band practice on Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 9 for the other one, for our other teenage boy. And then there's a football game on Friday night, but I don't think our kids have to go because it's an away game. So that'll be nice. And of course, we're leading into the holiday weekend. And then on actual Monday next week, of course, none of us have school, but our one son does have a football game. So yay, it's his first freshman football game. So it's his first high school football game. So we'll be ready for it. So thanks for following along this week. All right, friends, it is Monday, 8:01 p.m. I am getting ready to leave the hospital. My husband's surgery went well. It was around 4 o'clock maybe when it started. And then he was back in a room around 6. So I stayed up here a couple hours just to kind of make sure he got settled. He was needing something to drink and eat, and it was taking a while for them to get that for him. So of course he threatened to order something to eat and have it delivered. So I said, no, let's just said, let me go find a nurse. So I found her, and she was able to get him a sandwich. I got it all set up for him, got everything open, because of course he only has one hand available now, and everything was fine. So it turned out well, and he will have to stay here a couple days in the hospital, unfortunately. So hopefully I'll be able to bring the kids up tomorrow to see him, and of course he's going to be on my mind all day teaching, but that's okay. We gotta do what we gotta do, right? So being a teacher takes a lot out of you, just mentally making sure to take care of those babies, but you got to remember that you got to take care of your family too. So I would have loved to have been prepping for school today, or working on stuff for the house, one or the other, but that's not how my day went. I would love to have been meal prepping, but that's not how my day went, and that is okay. I spent time with my husband today, who was in a very vulnerable spot. He doesn't like hospitals. So headed, like I said, now to get my little one, and then his mom picked up his kids from school, from our house, and picked up our one that had football practice, picked him up from football, took them to dinner, and so she'll meet me back over at the house, and unfortunately it'll pretty much be time for bed and get up and do this whole thing all over again. I'm hoping that the kids can get some rest. I did tell my husband he probably needs to call the kids and chit chat with them. I'll check with him when I get home to make sure he called and talked to them, and if not, we'll put him on speakerphone. I know that once he eats, he's probably going to pass out, because the anesthesia, they wanted him to sleep for 3 hours after he got out, and he ain't doing that. So yeah, but hopefully he will get some rest tonight, and hopefully he's not in as much pain tonight. I know that he was in a whole lot of pain last night. So yeah, so being a teacher, a mom, a wife, it takes a lot out of you. So thanks for joining me. today is Thursday. It's been a long week. I am trying to get stuff ready for the day, and today is picture day, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect my kids coming in. Sorry, I had to put my password in and I had to actually think about it. So hopefully today goes well, and I have some math that we're doing. We're using the cubes process. That's what the other teachers use, so I wanted to make sure to stay in line with what the classrooms are doing. And so we're going to do some word problems today, so that's going to be interesting to see how each of the kids react to that. And so we're working on subjects and predicates, so just really writing sentences. I really want to see capital letter punctuation at the end, and writing. These kids are having a hard time with keeping their letter or their words separated. So hopefully they'll do better with that as we practice. So, and then for reading, we're doing main idea. Yesterday we did one, and today I'm together, and today I want them to do it. We'll still read it together, but then I want them to answer the questions by themselves. It is the end of the summer. The school is getting ready for the new school year. There are 19 classrooms in the school. Number 1 says, on the ground floor there are 8 classrooms. The rest of the classrooms are on the first floor. How many classrooms are there on the first floor? So our first step is C. Does anyone remember what that means? It means circle the numbers, okay? So circle the 19 in red, and circle the 8 in red. Circle the 19 in red, and circle the 8 in red. Okay? The next part is to underline the question. So what is the question this is asking us? What is the question that we have to answer? What do you think, Savannah? What is the question it's asking us?
How many classrooms in school?
It says how many classrooms are on the first floor. So let's underline that in orange, okay? So underline that in orange, okay?
Which one? The top one.
So we're going to underline how many classrooms are there on the first floor, okay? And I did it up there on the board too, so you can see what it looks like. So we're going to underline how many classrooms are there on the first floor. Okay. So the next step is the B's. Remember what the B's are for? Yes. You're going to box the important information or key words. So what are the key words here that we're looking for? What do you think? So on the ground floor there are 8 classrooms. The rest of the classrooms are on the first floor. How many classrooms are there on the first floor? What do you think one of the keywords might be?
Boxes.
The boxes is not even in this question. Yes. No, we already circled the number. How about classrooms? Is it important to know their classrooms?
Yeah.
All right, so let's box the word classrooms. So you should have 3 boxes. My boxes are up there. So it's 19 classrooms. So put a box around classrooms. Okay. Oh, sorry, in orange. Yellow. In yellow, we're going to put a box. We're not going to circle. We're going to put a box. When you circle the numbers, we're going to box. That's what the B and cube is for. Then we're going to box 8 classrooms. So just box the word classrooms. Okay. Put a box around the word classrooms. Okay. And the reason this is important is because that's what this is asking for, right? So let's put a box around the last classrooms right here. Not that one, the one at the bottom. Okay. Classrooms right there. Okay. All right. Does anyone remember what the E stands for? Yes. Yes. No. So eliminate anything that is not important. So eliminate means to cross it out. Okay. So what in this problem is, okay, fine, thanks for giving us that, but we really don't need it to solve the problem. What are things in this that we don't really have to know to solve the actual math part? What do you think? No, we need the numbers. What do we not need? Do we care that it's the end of the summer? No, we don't care when it is. Okay. Do we care that the school is getting ready for the new school year?
No.
No, that's not important to the actual math part. So with our green, let's cross out that first part up there where it says the end of the summer, the school is getting ready for the new school year. That's great information because it sets up our problem. So draw one line through what you're doing. A line through where it says it's the end of the summer and school is getting ready for the new school year. Okay. So in green, we're going to cross that information out. So it goes to the second line. Okay. Okay. And if you're confused, I have it up there. Mine doesn't have the lines the same way yours are, but you can see what I crossed out. Okay. So the next step is to solve and check. Okay, so what are we going to do with this problem? Okay, so it says how many classrooms are there on the first floor? So first let's think, are we going to add or subtract here? What do you think? What do you think?
Add.
What do you think?
Subtract.
What do you think? What do you think?
Add.
Okay, so there are 19 classrooms in the school. On the ground floor there are 8 classrooms. The rest of the classrooms are on the first floor. How many are on the first floor? I think we're going to subtract. So let's set this up. So what's the big number that we're going to subtract from?
15.
Not 15. What's
19.
the circle? Yeah, our circle number up here is 19. So we're at 19. Okay, so I wrote 19 in pencil now. Oh no, I'm sorry, in blue. In blue, right? 19. Okay, over here, because we're going to do it as a problem. So write it over here, 19. Okay, then we're going to put a subtraction sign. Okay, so you can look up there and see how I did it. Okay, and we're going to subtract the 8. Okay, that are on the ground floor, because we don't need to know. We don't have to have those 8. Okay, so then we're going to have an equal sign. So 19 minus 8 is our problem. Okay, what is 19 minus 8? You can use your board, you can use your fingers, whatever you need to.
I gotta use my fingers.
Okay, then do it and see if you can get the answer. So in blue, you're going to write the answer. Don't do that. You're wasting pencil. Lovely. All right. I'm sure it's already time for you to go back. So put this in your box. I mean, in your binder. Put it yourself away, okay?
11.
Did I ask you to blurt out the answer?
No.
Okay. I want you to write what you think the answer is. All right, let's count up, okay? So let's go from 8, okay? So let's count from 8 to 19. So watch, let's do this. Ready? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So our answer is 11, okay? So 19 minus 8 is 11. So put that in blue on your page. Perfect. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a pencil in it.
But you probably put it in your box with the other stuff. Or no, first let's over here on accident. All right, so let's look at the next one. Just like the ones we did yesterday. So remember, we're going to write sentences. The subject tells us who or what the sentence is about. And then the predicate tells us the subject, what the subject is or does. So we have the old goat, the small boy, the teenage girl, the brown puppy. Our predicates that we have is learning to drive, loves taking walks, can swim quickly, and likes to eat trash. All right, so let's look at these. The old goat is learning to drive.
No.
No. The old goat loves taking walks. I mean, he could walk around, but it's not really what we think of. Let's check the others. The old goat can swim quickly. I mean, goats can probably swim, but I think we can find something better. Okay, so the old goat likes to eat trash. Goats like to eat trash, don't they? All right, so let's draw a line. Okay. Okay, so the old goat likes to eat trash. Okay, so our next one is the small boy. Okay, so, hey buddy, wake up. Okay, or not. There we go. All right, so the small boy. Is the small boy gonna learn how to drive?
No.
Probably not, okay. Loves taking walks? He could love taking walks. Can swim quickly? Yeah, I think so. Let's do that one, okay? So the small boy can swim quickly. So the teenage girl is learning to drive or loves taking walks? Again, could the girl like taking walks? Sure, but that would leave us the brown puppy is learning to drive. So that doesn't make sense, does it? All right, so let's see. The teenage girl is learning to drive.
And the brown puppy, loves taking walks.
And that makes sense, right? Puppies like to take walks. Okay. Very easy. So what we're going to do, remember, we're going to write in our very best handwriting. The beginning of a sentence has to have a what? Capital letter. Okay. The end of our sentence has to have some kind of punctuation. Okay. If you look, all of these ones have a period. Okay. So your sentences should say, the old goat likes to eat trash, the small boy can swim quickly, the teenage girl is learning to drive, and the brown puppy loves taking walks. So these are your answers. I made it bigger so it's easier to see. Okay. Use your chart I just gave you on how to write letters if you don't know how to write a capital or lowercase. Remember, you need a finger space, probably a pinky space, or yeah, your fingers are pretty little still. So a finger space between each word, okay? They give you 2 lines to write your whole sentence. Should I write it huge? No, you need to write it the correct size. So look at those letters on the chart I gave you, okay? So get that chart out, put it out, you can take it out of your binder, you can set it up right here so you have it right in front of you. And those are what your sentences should say. Remember, the main idea is what the story is mostly about, okay? So read along with me. Put your finger on the words. I'll read it slowly so that you can stay up with me, okay? Today, I am not going to tell you the answer. You're going to find the answers yourself, okay? So when you do that, don't say it out loud, but make sure your friend can't see it either. It's walking around being crazy, okay? So follow along again, okay? Carrie likes to sit quietly at school. When the teacher calls on her, she speaks softly. She doesn't like when everyone looks at her. At recess, she likes to read books. Carrie feels happiest when she's with just 1 or 2 close friends. So our question is, what is the story's main idea? Carrie has a favorite book. Carrie is shy, or Carrie has a lot of friends. Let me cut off part of it there. So it's not really how you want to spend your weekend, but here I am. Well, it's Saturday morning. I'm running from the hospital to get some breakfast for us. Hopefully he's going to be released today. The doctor said he will be released today. They just have to get all the stuff together. So, yay. I slept in a recliner last night. So, fine. But, hey, at least I got to hang out with my husband.